And joining the conversation now is Dr. Elisabeth Kendall, a Middle East expert and mistress in the Girton College at Cambridge University. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, I'll jump right into it. The U.S. military says it conducted several precision airstrikes on Saturday against Houthi drones, as well as a missile storage facility, a command and control facility in Yemen's capital. What more do we know about these specific strikes?
Well, we know that they're parts of an ongoing campaign by the US and also including the UK for some of them to try to degrade Houthi capability. We also know that the US apparently seemed to shoot down one of its own aircraft, which is a first that we've heard of something like this. And I think that speaks to the kind of risk and miscalculation that can so easily happen in these circumstances. We have a heavily militarized Red Sea at the moment. There are at least 4 separate initiatives going on that are trying to tackle the Houthis. There's Operation Prosperity Guardian, that's the US, UK, and 12 international partners. There's the EU naval escort, Operation Aspides. There's Operation Poseidon Archer by the US and the UK. And of course, there are Israel strikes. The lowdown, though, is that none of these seem to be working.
Right. You mentioned the reports of a case of a fighter jet being downed by friendly fire. Do we know more about how this incident could happen? And what does it tell us about the evolving tactics of the Houthis?
Well, we know that it was friendly fire and that CENTCOM put out a statement by email with very little details, simply saying that both of the pilots survived, although they were lightly injured, and that they're investigating the matter. What was clear from that CENTCOM statement, which isn't actually on the CENTCOM site yet, so may still change, is that it wasn't the Houthis that brought the aircraft down. So I guess that just means business as usual from the Americans and hopefully deconflicting their own operations in the Red Sea.
All right, so we know that the U.S. is considering redesignating the Houthis as a terrorist group. They're seeking more support from the UN to be able to act on ships in the Red Sea heading for Houthi-controlled ports. But the Americans have also been accused of only playing defense here. We've got a new Trump administration coming in. Do you think we could expect more of a plan of action from the U.S.?
I think under Trump, we may see things ramp up against the Houthis, yes. I think there'll be further attempts to isolate the Houthis under Trump. Yes, he's likely to bring in an FTO designation. Currently, the Houthis under Biden they're especially designated global terrorists, so that's slightly less of a designation. I think we also might see Trump maybe think more broadly, perhaps not care so much about Yemen itself, but think more broadly about the Red Sea region. There's a lot going on there, and perhaps push Russia further to stop coming in and helping the Houthis, and of course, ramping up a maximum pressure campaign against Iran. So yes, I would expect further action under Trump than we have currently seen to date under Biden.
All right, Elisabeth Kendall, thank you very much for your analysis and your insight this evening.
You're welcome.